Hi, I'm Clermont City Manager Darren Gray, and welcome to this edition of Clermont Choice of Champions. We're going to kick things off with a very special feature. The ancestors of this champion date back to 1815, when they were first rounded up from the Egyptian desert. What am I talking about? Are the Al-Marah Arabian horses. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Mark Miller. I'm owner of Al-Marah Arabian Horses here in Clermont, Florida. We're happy to be here. We moved here about 2 years ago, and this group of horses that we brought it has been a family together for 200 years, starting in the Arabian desert and going to England, then to the United States, and this is the third location in the United States for them. So it's an honor to be here in Clermont, and we're happy to bring our champions to the home of champions. I grew up in Maryland and moved down here to go to Rollins College in the mid-'60s, and I've loved it down in the Orlando area ever since. I had a horse farm in Gainesville during the 80s, and I closed that down and moved to Orlando to open Arabian Nights dinner attraction, where I wanted to show the public in general the magnificence of this band of horses and all the different things it could do. Of course, we also had another 12 breeds of horses at Arabian Nights, but since all riding horses come from the Arabian historically, I felt like it was just our extended family there. Arabian Nights opened up on February 29th, 1988. We were a leap year baby, and we stayed open for 26 years. We did over 10,000 shows and showed our horses to more than 10 million people. We felt like it was a great run, but it was always a labor of love. It was never that we did a show that was good enough. We always wanted to do something just amazing. And because of the number of shows that we did and the fact that nobody in my family really wanted to carry it forward after me, when my mother passed away a couple years ago, I decided to close Arabian Nights so I could concentrate on making this herd successful for another generation. I'm the sixth person in the third family to have this in the last 200 years. And I take my stewardship of this herd very seriously. My mother's name was Basie Tankersley. I won't tell you her first name because she hated it, but she was always known as Basie. She was absolutely a legend in the equine world. She was originally from Chicago. Our family had a newspaper in Chicago, Chicago Tribune, and her maiden name was McCormick, and it's a pretty big name in Chicago. And she came from a hugely political family. My grandfather was a U.S. Senator. My grandmother was the first woman ever elected statewide to Congress of the United States. You know, she came from this heritage of politics and power and all this kind of thing, but she always loved horses. I mean, it was just something where the bug bit her. And so while she had all these other things to do in her life, the one thing that was true to her life was her love of horses, and that was her recreation, and it was her passion. But these horses are my family. You know, they've actually been in my family longer than I have. The farm started in 1942. I wasn't born until 1947. And so their heritage is more associated with my mother than I am. I mean, longer associated than I am. And while I've been active as a breeder for a long time, I believe my mother was the best breeder of horses, not just Arabian horses, in the world for probably 50 years, maybe more. By the mid-50s, she was the best horse breeder there was. And that lasted until the day she died. The number of amazing things she accomplished with our herd is unparalleled in equine history, as far as I'm concerned. And she started to teach me what to do with this herd when I was 10 years old. The whole history of these horses is just incredible. We finished up the year winning 13 national championships in Idaho at the Sport Horse Nationals. The next day, they had a 100-mile endurance race, and we won that. that was as important as the other 13 combined, because these are desert horses. The Bedouins used to go 100 miles on these horses and then go to war after 100 miles. They're amazing athletes, and we never want to lose that. That's part of our core, that we make these just phenomenal athletes. And what's really cool is we can do that and they're still drop dead gorgeous. You can train them because they're smart and they're willing and they want to be your partner. And those are the 3 parts of an Almara Arabian horse. They gotta be strong, they gotta be beautiful, and they gotta love you. We're here, we're a resource, and if you want to come see us, because there is no prettier place to spend an afternoon than at this farm, and there's no admission to do it, so come see us.
We are proud to be the home of these legendary Arabian horses. If you'd like more information or would like to meet these horses up close, call 407-301-0800 or go to the website listed below. We'll be right back with some more horsepower. We're taking an up-close look at one of the coolest outdoor adventures here in Central Florida, and it's right here in Clermont. Did you know early residents made good use of the famous Clermont chain of lakes? There was even a steamship line that carried passengers, lumber, and produce around the city's beautiful waterways, as seen in this photo from 1902. Are you and your family looking for fun, outdoor adventure? Well, then you don't want to miss our next story. We're taking you behind the wheel at Revolution Off-Road. Hang on tight.
Hi, my name's Kevin Jowett and I'm the owner of Revolution Off-Road. We're an off-road adventure park based just outside of Clermont, Florida. We have 230 acres of different tracks and trails where we ride ATVs, dune buggies, mucky ducks, and fishing and archery. I think it's unique in the world. The people don't get a chance to ride motor vehicles in this sort of environment. They want to, sometimes it's too expensive, or they don't know where to go and ride. And what we do is give them the opportunity to come along and go through a professional training. We give them all the right equipment, helmets, goggles, and we go out with a guide and we go across 230 acres of beautiful countryside. I remember we had a family here, grandma, grandpa, their children, and the grandchildren. There's 3 generations, and they all went out on the ATVs. We got back at half time and we said, look, we're really sorry guys, but we've got to split the group up. You know, there's one lot that are going too slow and the others that are going too fast. So we split grandma and her son. They were the fastest, and we sent them off, and the children and grandpa went off on their own. So the grandchildren were very unhappy, but grandma was whooping and wooing when she came back in, that's for sure. I'm originally from London, England, and I've had a house here in Clermont for over 20 years. Like many Brits that come to Florida, you learn to love it, you buy a place, and eventually I've started a business up here. The first time we came to Florida, we were down over the Orlando area. It was just a little too rural for us. The next time we came, we just fell in love with Lake County. I mean, it is so beautiful, it's so natural. We bought a house here. It's grown up a lot since we came 20 years ago, but it's still gorgeous. You can see we're 15 miles from Disney World and we're out in fantastic countryside. When I first started racing, which was back in Europe, I was obviously much younger, a lot more enthusiastic and really loved motor vehicles. A friend of mine bought an ex-rally car and he said to me, well, you're a better driver than I am, so you drive it and I'll be the co-driver. And that's how I first started. And we went through a few years of just getting to know what we were doing, and eventually got sponsorship, got some much nicer cars and better results. After I gave up racing, my wife said I had to get a proper job. So I had a degree in wines and spirits, so I actually joined the wine trade to start with. but my wife still insisted that wasn't a proper job, drinking wine. So I went to work for Sony PlayStation. I eventually became Commercial Director Europe for Sony PlayStation and launched PlayStation 1, 2 and 3 across Europe. So yeah, I've had a fun career. The idea of having this business, or the way I got the idea, is that in Europe there's a lot of places that corporate companies go to where they want to have a good day out and do something different. And I've still got, and my wife's still got, the piece of paper that I drew out, a big piece of land with a lake in the middle and tracks going around the outside. And it was just one of those dreams that I thought I could actually start a rally school up. Well, unfortunately, it's very sandy in Florida, so it's not quite right for rally cars, but it's certainly right for ATVs, mucky ducks and things like that. So it was always a pipe dream to have it. And then we found this piece of property one year and we said, okay, let's go for it. Let's pack up, put our savings into it and get it underway. Many people say, you know, what is it that we do? What is it? Something different? Is it a thrill? I call it an experience. It's something that you may never get a chance to do in your lifetime. You know, these machines are very different. You might not be able to have one in your own garage, but you can come out here and you can experience the thrill of riding in a safe environment. The typical type of person that we get here ranges from 6 to, I think 86 is our eldest person we've had here riding an ATV. It's not typical. I mean, we get young ladies that are buying presents for their boyfriends, and we get grandmas coming with their family. It's really a broad spectrum of person that we get here. Well, the multi-generation experience probably comes with something like this, the mucky duck. We brought this on board because we wanted to have something that would cater for families. You can get everyone in here, from a young child to someone, you know, a lot older. It's not ultra fast, but it's exciting. You go through muddy trails and splash through puddles, but it's also an amphibious vehicle. So you can go into the lake and you can experience the lake as well. But one thing, you know, this area is not only tourists, but there's a lot of transient people that have lived in the countryside outside of Clermont, and they want to come and still get back to their roots, and we're a great place for that. We do an awful lot of advertising, mainly to international customers, people that are tourists to this country. And we spend a lot of money, not only on internet, but on advertising, agencies, ticket agencies. We also travel all over the world to actually talk about what we've got here in Clermont. Next month, I'll be going to the World Travel Fair in London, where we will be showing people from all over the world what we've got here. We do have adventure runs here. I wish I did come up with the idea, but that was someone else's. We were approached by a company about 6 years ago where they wanted to use the property to run an adventure run, or a mud run, people call it. It's really exciting. What happens, there's many thousands of people will come here. They want to run through the mud, over the hills, through the woods. They might do it in fancy dress, and they might be very competitive about it. But they come here as a day out, and it's great fun. We're an ideal venue for it. We have 230 acres of different tracks and trails that they can use. Mayor Angelo once said that people won't remember what you may have said or what you do, but they will remember how they feel. And I think that's what a champion's all about. If you're a parent with a child and they go and run in a school race, it doesn't matter if they come first, they can come fifth, but they're still champions in the eyes of the parent. And I think that's what the spirit of championship is, that you have to not always be a winner, you can still be a champion.
What a fun experience. And again, it's right here in your own backyard. For more information, go to revolutionoffroad.com. Next, we're headed downtown Clermont to meet a couple who own Jelly's Painting and Decor. We'll be right back. Did you know Edmond Amateus, an internationally renowned sculptor, once called Clermont home? He was commissioned for important works like these sculptures of the scientist who cured polio. He is pictured in this 1950 photo with Dr. Jonas Salk and former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Amateus retired to Clermont, where he created a popular white flower that bears his name. He also left a financial legacy that supports Clermont's Cooper Memorial Library. Welcome back to Clermont Choice of Champions. We hope you're enjoying the show. When it comes to custom artwork, you have to explore Jelly's Art and Decor right here on Montrose Street. We're sitting down with the owners, Jeremy and Lena Hall.
I'm Lena Hall.
And I'm Jeremy Hall, and we are at Jelly's Painting and Decor, 795 West Montrose Street, Clermont.
And what makes us unique is we have a lot of different incorporations of painting. Him and I make our own decor, home decor, and then we also teach painting classes to kids and adults. And we also have a business that paints houses and businesses, so all aspects of painting.
We got our start in this business about 10 years ago when we opened up our company called The Ultimate Painter. And what we specialized was with basic painting, commercial and residential, and that grew into decorative faux finishing. And from there we decided, hey, let's take our specialty painting and do it on canvases and start making our own personal art. So we started doing abstract art, some contemporary art, and that led us into functional art, which is our decor line with our mirrors and decorative doors. That led us into our other product, which is G-frames, which is a functional art piece that holds your guitars. And from there we decided, let's take it one step further and let's teach people how to paint. So we opened up a studio and started doing classes for kids and adults, teaching them how to paint.
Our most popular items, I would say, are the G-frames, which are the guitar display cases. We sell them all over the country, even have gone international. So we feel like that's a big deal for us. It's just great.
Yeah, it's great. The thing about G-frames is everybody gets a piece of their functional art in their house, and you get that pop of color. A lot of people that are our clients have signature guitars that were signed by somebody famous, some celebrity, and they don't know what to do with this guitar. They don't want to keep it on a stand on the floor, so they want to put it up. But it's such a special piece that they want something more than just the guitar itself. The great thing about us, right now we have over 60 some designs online. So we have so many different colors and styles that would possibly match your special guitar to pop a color in your house. The other thing too is that a lot of our pieces are custom made. People will call us and say, I have this purple guitar, there's a story behind it, and I'd like something to highlight that. But the thing is, my house is all browns and beiges.
Every piece has a story. We name each one a different name, so each one has their own name. And different guitars kind of inspire us to make new ones as well.
Everything that we do, we specialize in paint and texture. So everything that we make is a special product of ours that we highlight some different characters. With us, everything we make out of paint and textures provides a character and a style and an image. And we're able to use that in all of our G-frames, make it look like wood, make it look rustic, make it look flashy, make it look expensive. Some of our ones behind us here have glitter in it, and those are the special pop ones that just make you say, wow. A lot of guitars are special. They're almost like pets to people. They cherish them, so not only do they want to hang them up and show them off, but they want them to look as good as they can look.
I think art is important in your life because it shows what your interests are, what your passions are, but it also can bring life into any room. So if you have a beige house or something gray, then if you bring reds and a pop of color or something that gives you the feeling of the beach, even though you're in the city, it can just bring a totally different atmosphere into any room.
Art is very important in our lives because I believe it's almost like another language. It's a visual language. And everything that you do starts with imagination and creativity. And you need to be able to put that down and explain it. For instance, we develop things every day between cars, houses, additions onto our houses, and you come up with an idea, you're creative about it, and now you need to explain it to everybody so they can implement your ideas. So art can help you draw. Art can help you express that language so people can understand.
We have many different art classes. We have adult classes and they're all beginners, so we teach you how to paint very simple stuff, but step by step, so everybody walks away with a nice painting. And then for kids, we have many different things. We have an after-school program where they come once a week, And we do different things throughout the year even with little kids, so they get their hands into art.
We chose downtown Clermont because of the family-oriented business vibe that was happening down here. There was a decor market going on already down here, so we thought that would be great. There was a music store here, so we thought that would be great. The lake was a huge asset.
Another reason why we picked this building in downtown Clermont is because there is a lot of activity around here, especially on this street that we're in, Montrose. There is a farmer's market every week on Sundays. They have an art fest, a music fest. So they're always thinking of ways to bring people around from near and far.
Anybody that comes here, you're gonna see something completely different. You're gonna be wowed by something that you're not used to seeing. That's the compliments we get a lot. If you come and do one of our painting classes, you're coming for an experience, you're leaving with an experience, you're hanging that experience up and you're always gonna remember it. We have people that come in here that, my sisters are in town, we all wanna come and do a class and spend some time together. Well, these sisters leave with their paintings, that experience, and every time they look at their painting, they remember being the experience they had with their family members. So we're selling experiences, we're giving experiences, and that's what our plans. We have a lot of plans for what we're going to do here in this building, where we're going with our future. This is just what we can do now and what we know, but what we don't know is what we're about to really get into. And our plans are to create more movement downtown. People are going to start coming here more often, spending more time and creating more memories here because of the plans that we intend to do here.
Be sure to check out jellysdecor.com to learn more about all the wonderful events and classes at this downtown business. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Clermont Choice of Champions. If you have any questions or comments about today's show or would like to learn more about the City of Clermont, go to our website, clermontfl.gov, or call us at 352-241-7345. Until next time, I invite you to explore Clermont and see why our city is the choice of champions. So long.